Sober? Isolated? Me too. This is a podcast where we talk to various people from all different walks and all different lengths of sobriety about how they're staying sober and sane during these trying times. This is Sober During Crisis. What's going on, everybody? I'm tired. Let's just jump right into it. I'm tired. I don't even know why I'm tired. I'm not doing anything to make me tired. What, walking for like 20 minutes once a day is making it so all I want to do is watch Star Wars? I've never even been into Star Wars. I don't even like... Why am I watching Star Wars? Why am I live tweeting me watching Star Wars? Am I okay? Are we doing okay out there? I feel like that's the level I'm at right now with the quarantine. Like a little bit of like, I'm kind of desperate right now. I don't really know. Something's lacking. I'm feeling a little deranged, everybody. And like, I know I'm kidding for the most part. You know, I'm really lucky. I have a great living situation. I'm living with the love of my life. And I mean, things are like pretty great. Like, I love our place and like we have some really good systems and routines. Like, I really can't complain, except that like not going places is really starting to wear me down. And it's obviously like I'm somebody who's very much a fan of doing what's right for everyone. So I think, as tired and bonkers as I feel, we keep stuff shut until it's safe to open it. That's what I think we should do. I'm out there wearing a mask or at least some kind of a fashionable bandana. Look, I'm a Libra. It's all about the aesthetic. Get you a mask that can do both. All right, but enough from me. I'm actually like super excited about... I say that every week. Listen, the person that is on today's show was the person who first ever brought me to a 12-step meeting. Like, can you believe that? I feel so blessed to have them on the show. They were the first person I ever knew to get sober. I didn't know people got sober. I didn't know what that even really meant. I didn't understand what that entailed. But this person opened my eyes to that world. They also happen to be my godmother. So it's very fitting that they introduced me to a program that helped me find my higher power. This is someone I can continue to call for on spiritual matters and to get some real good advice and also just a laugh anytime. Like, anyway, our guest today is my very own Aunt Barbara. I'm so excited that she agreed to do this. Like, I was really excited. I hope that you get as much out of this conversation as I did. So let's learn some stuff together on Sober During Crisis.
Hi, my name is Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
So again, my name is Barbara. I'm from Springfield, and my clean date is January 29th, 2007. So I have
Woo.
13 years. So yeah, I am. You know, I'd love to say that I'm doing great and everything's sunshine and rainbows, but it's just not. You know what I mean? I'm having a hard time just staying positive and in a good mood. You know, so. And I've been really thinking long and hard about like, okay, I'm going to get interviewed. You really got to get your head on straight so you can answer these questions. But because I really want to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it's not necessarily using that I'm worried about. I do still have the moments of like, that looks pretty good. I could have a beer, you know what I mean? Or I could just, smoke this joint and stuff like, so we all still have those feelings and those moments. But for me, I live out, or I seem to be acting out more on my other character defects. So for me, it's like other things that I know that I'm not supposed to do, you know? So shopping,
I hear that.
Kohl's Cash.
Kohl's Cash. Yeah.
Kohl's Cash gets me every time.
Kohl's Cash is the crack of moms.
Really is. And then they keep giving me more, like I'll place an order. Oh, here's some Kohl's Cash. Oh, well, I just got to spend this because then they just sent me $5 because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm like, so now I have $15 to spend. But, then you have to spend certain much to get free shipping. So literally I've had 3 orders come in. So I need to stop. I need to stop. I don't need any more stuff. And I'm, like, oh, but it's my birthday and it's Mother's Day. And I'll just tell the kids, this is from you,
It makes me feel really blessed that drug dealers didn't go, hey, you bought 5 bags, you get the 6th one free. you know? There's no drug dealer rewards, you know?
I would have been so screwed.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that, you know, if there was any kind of point system
Yeah,
or
punch
a
card, yeah.
like, listen, oh my God, I'm almost there. I can get some
Right.
more.
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
Yeah. So for me, like when I went to my first, because I'm in Narcotics Anonymous, so when I went to my first meeting and they told me that it's not just the drug abuse and the drinking and all, you know, it was, you know, all, it's all encompassed. It's you, it's who you are.
Yeah.
It was so freeing, you know, it really was so freeing for me. Because I was like, oh, so I'm not a total fuck up. This is just keys that I got, and it can be arrested. You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
was just so freeing for me. Yeah.
It's kind of like a double-edged sword because you get in the program and then they're like, oh, by the way, it's not actually your drug use and your drinking that's the issue. It's you.
Yeah.
Like,
It's, yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And luckily
And I
there's
was
something
always
you
a
can
big,
do
like,
about it.
No,
Yeah.
right. And although, and I think that's what kept me out for so long too, because I didn't think there was anything anybody could do about it. I thought it was my own, like I was the fuck up, right? So I knew that part, and it was all like I couldn't stop. It was all about me, and I was the one screwing up, and that just kept me going. You know what I mean? Like because I would try. Oh, I would do this for so long. I'd stop drinking, or I'd stop using, or you know. But it was always one or the other. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can do this, and then when I couldn't, I just felt like, oh God, see, you screwed up again. You know,
I know that feeling so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're a loser. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm not. And then I'm not a loser. And there's so many other people like me. That I think was just the most freeing thing.
Right.
So,
There's so much power in knowing that I'm not alone. Like I'm not the only person who's just insanely self-centered when I let myself be, right? Like, I'm not the only person who's kind of just like obsessed with my image. And you know, there's so many different character defects I see that are embodied in meetings. And I think to myself, man, I'm glad that person isn't using. And then it's like, wow, you know, you point a finger, 3-point right back at you. That's exactly how people feel in my life, you know?
Yeah. Yep. So true.
Well,
so
I'm really
true.
glad that you're like being honest too, because one thing I want to circle back that you said in the beginning was, you know, trying to get your head on right for the interview. But the whole reason I'm doing this is because I was struggling so bad. I'm like, I can't be the only one though. Like it's impossible. There's got to be tons of addicts out there who are like, I'm sober. I don't necessarily want to use, but like this shit is mad hard.
Yes, it is. And then it's going to be all summed up as to what you're doing day to day and how you're living your life, you know?
Yeah.
And we are all experiencing different things right now. You have, you know, like the teachers that are home that can work from home and do your Zoom and reach out to your students and stuff like that. I work at a grocery store. So that's even been even more difficult. So I know I'm on the front line every day. I wear my mask every day. Thank God the governor just passed in Massachusetts that everybody has to wear a mask, which most people are, I have to say. What they're not doing and what they don't understand is the 6 feet distance. I think they think because now they have a mask on, they don't have to adhere to the 6 foot rule. So and our managers have empowered us to be able to say, excuse me, you need to back up. That's not 6 feet. So I've been saying that a little bit more, and I have to remember to use my voice and use that little bit of power that I do have. Because what I've noticed lately is I hold it in, and then I just get mad. You know what I mean?
And it makes sense though, because it's like, how do I tell this other person who is also an adult that they can't do this thing? You know, you know, there's a part ingrained in me for sure. It's like, well, it's a free country. It's like, yeah, but it's also my life. And I kind of don't want to die.
We've got these petitions up, you know, which is great. So now I'm trying to, as I'm on the service desk where you're dealing with people, you know, when you talk about addiction, so people are coming through to get Western Union, so they get their money to and from. So, you know, nothing a little shady about that, but okay. And you see them coming in, like, you know, when they're jonesing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I know, I see it, right? I know the eye movements. I know the behaviors, you know, and they're freaking out, and you're like, oh, and then all you can do is pray and say, you know, there before the grace of God go I, you know, or the ones that come through and they're buying all their lottery, right? I cannot tell you how many lottery tickets we're selling right now. It's unbelievable. So, and then they're coming and they're cashing and then they're buying more. So, and I get it though. That's me. You know what I mean? If I let myself do that, I can't even buy one scratch ticket because I know where that'll leave me. You know what I mean? Just like the Kohl's cash, it's going to bring me down a hole and my money's going to be gone. And so I'm like, I can't do it. So, but it's just very difficult to stand back and watch. And I think I could do a better job though. And I think as an addict, because I've lived this experience, I need to take more responsibility to do the next right thing. You know, it's one of the things we're taught really early in our recovery. Do the right thing, and then always just look ahead. What's the next right thing? What should I be doing?
I know, but how do you? Yeah, and I totally see how there would be a conflict of like, do I say like, is it overstepping to say something to this person? How do I offer my like, oh God, how do you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then to come from this place of just anger and fear, I'm not being, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. But that's exactly where I was. I lived in there for like not last week, but the 2 weeks prior. And I let myself get really, really deep down yucky. You know what I mean? There's just no other way. Like I was like, and my partner was like, who are you? What is happening right now? I couldn't, I couldn't seem to get myself out of that rut, feeling my feelings, but being way down deep in them and being ugly. Like that ugly Barbara was really coming out again. And I had to stop and regroup and say, wait a second, this is not me. This is not who I want to be. This is not who I've worked for 13 years not to be. So I had to stop and look at, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing that's different? What am I doing that I can help myself get out of this rut, and the things that were there for me commonly every day are not there. So I go to church every Sunday, right? I go to church and I sing in my choir. There is no church. There is no choir. So that's been really tough. So I can watch it on TV. I can watch it on YouTube. There's all these people that are posting, here's my favorite priest and here's his map, and it's just not the same. It's not the same for me. And I let that separation happen. And that's not good for my spirit. That spirit that we have to feed, Yeah.
I have 10 months, right? You have 13 years. Oh my God. I knew it was a lucky number.
13, I don't know.
Right. And so it actually really, really helps to hear that everyone is struggling. And it makes me be like, okay, like I'm not alone or special in my despair right now, but I don't have to stew in it. Because everybody's really feeling it. Like for me, all the things that got me sober and were keeping me sober, I don't have. And yet the liquor stores are open,
Yes.
And I get why they're open.
Crazy.
I've been talking to people about this because I was so pissed. I felt like liquor stores were open just to tempt me. I was like, this is about me, obviously. But yeah, how are you keeping your spirituality going right now? Like, what do you do? Anything specific?
Well, the only thing I can really say is talking more about like what not to do.
Perfect.
Because that's what I'm really realized. So I would get up. I try to spend some time every morning in I've got a prayer room, so I have a prayer chair. And then when I noticed that I wasn't doing that, I was skipping that. That's when I'm not starting my day off right. I'm not starting with my attitude of gratitude, not giving thanks, not saying my prayers and getting myself mentally prepared to get out in the world and have to do what I have to do. So that's one thing I noticed I wasn't doing. So now I'm doing that again. AA and NA, we all have literature, the one day at a time books, the just for today, and then I have the religious ones too. So as long as I'm reading something, and then I have like a pattern of prayers that I like to say to keep myself centered,
Perfect. Yeah. So like some kind of a daily reading, which I've gotten away from in a bad way. It's so weird to me that I stay resisting meditation, even though it's been so freaking helpful. People will be like, you got to get back into it. It's really helping me. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I do. And then I just don't. And it's the same thing with flossing my teeth, where I know it's going to feel good when I do it. And I go, I got to floss today. Today I'm going to floss. And then I just don't.
And I think it's again, we're going back to what our mindset is and where we do this self-sabotage. Like, why do we do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do I know better, but yet you constantly have to be reminded and or remind yourself.
Yeah.
So And then the being reminded is actually calling other people. Like, we work hard to get a network of people that are like us. So we need to call the people like us. We have a lot of Zoom recovery meetings, right? So at first I was resisting those. I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to hear it. I'm like, whatever. I'm not, and I'm more in depth watching the people on Zoom to see what's going on behind them, checking out their houses. What's their room look like? What room do you think they're in?
Oh my God,
what are
Auntie.
you kidding me? Like, what am I doing? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm getting absolutely no message. So last week, getting myself out of the hump, I said, let's get on this. Let's maybe not put the screen up, but just listen.
Okay.
I shared from the heart, and then I truly listened, and I stayed for the whole thing. Like I was there in the beginning for all our readings. I was at the end till we closed it up. And I really felt like, okay, I participated in a recovery meeting. And I really, really needed that. I think it's just really getting on and participate. Open your mouth. Like, how are you going to feel any better if you don't say something,
Oh my God.
So.
I took a risk and did a burning desire in one of the groups I used to go to a lot. But I actually spoke out and said, like, I am struggling. I need help. And then having the people that called me after just chat with me was like the best thing I could have done. So I definitely hear you with, like, you have to participate in the sense of not only listening, but sharing when you feel called to.
Mm-hmm. Right. Just how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, just the fact that I'm sharing with other people that, hey, I work in a grocery store. So let's think about that for a second. You know what I mean? When your guys are running in and running out, keep the 6 foot distance. You know what I mean? Wear your mask, be polite. We're all scared. We're all like, freaking out going in, and it's so funny to watch the people. You have the ones that don't care, don't think it's going to happen to them, or you have the hyper vigilant, decked out from head to toe in covered gear. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And
looking like beekeepers. Yeah.
And then the ones, in the middle that just people are selfish and they're only thinking about themselves. They just want to, get in and get out. And, it's like, listen, that phrase, we're all in this together. But if you really think about it, like if we really truly took on that mindset, what a better place we would be living in today,
Oh, man,
so
yeah.
It's corny, but it's true, if we would just be nice.
Well, it's funny because yesterday we kind of did almost like a pre-conversation just by default. And one of the things you said was, remind me to tell you about stupid people. And so I wrote down, my first question is, tell me about stupid people. And I feel like I feel like I can put a check next to that one. Because,
there you go.
I can't imagine working in a grocery store right now when I'm in there and I'm like, this mother effer is standing so close to me. Do not reach over me. Like you said yesterday, you were watching this dude like reach over someone to get some rice. It's like, I've been that person that got reached over. Actually, Sabrina told me this really funny story, and I got to share it. She was in the grocery store. This girl was somehow on the same pace as her shopping wise. You know how that happens normally, and it's annoying.
Yes.
Well, it's even more annoying now. And so her friend called her. She picks up and she's like, this bitch is standing so close to me. And she's like, the fact that she could hear me was like that, she's like, that's kind of how I, not the most spiritual advice for anyone, but it is but it is one of those things where it's like, how do you set that boundary with a stranger? Right. Like, how do you do it? I don't know.
Yep. I know. And it's so easy to let that, I call her, my alter ego come out, you know what I mean? And tell her about herself. And I'm like, wait. So, and then I have to remember, you're at work. Yes, you have some leniency as to what I can say and how I can say it, but you don't have total, freedom to just tell her where or him where he's coming from. I want to be like, back the fuck up. I don't understand why you're in my face, know? And then it's so noisy because I'm on the front end. So I've got the petition up. You're trying to do a thing and they're whispering on the other side. And I'm like, I can't hear you. We all have masks on, So then I'm realizing, wow, I might have a hearing problem or I'm just old, you know what I mean? So I can't read your lips. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying, and I can't,
Right.
But it's just, oh God.
And it's so annoying because you can't even go to the doctors and get that tested. I was actually slotted to get my septum fixed, and the end of March was my appointment. I waited 8 months for that appointment, and they called me and they were like, you can't come in. And it was so hard because I've been waiting to have money. I've been waiting to have like the pay, because like I don't like going to the doctors, and when I'm using, I hate going to the doctors, but my nose is fucked up and I can't breathe and I can't sleep right because I can't breathe. So I'm like, okay, now that I have like some agency over my life, this is a perfect time. And I was just starting to go to the chiro too for my hips and everything. And now I got to start like from scratch. It feels like I was finally getting just enough sobriety to make some positive changes. And now I'm like, damn, like right back at it, you know, it's frustrating.
Yep. Oh my God. Once this is all over, we just have to stay in that mindset.
Yeah, and
to keep doing it.
I know. I feel like it's hard because part of me is like, I don't know if there is a when this is all over. Like, I don't want to think that because it's so. That's what happened to me last week, actually, Auntie. When you were sharing on Saturday, you know, that how bad your week was. I had the same exact week where I just got really overwhelmed with how long this shit might be. Like, I was just like, I don't know if I can handle this.
Right. So I mean, it's for me, then it's just using everything that we've learned in recovery. So when somebody told me a long time ago, when, you know, that I'm never going to use again. And I was like, ever? And I was like, that just freaked me out. I was like, no, like, wait, at weddings and funerals, you know, it was too overwhelming for me. So I think if we try to shape that around this crisis, right? And it's just for today. So I know for today, this is what we have to do. And for tomorrow, it might be how we have to live too. I mean, I try not to get too overwhelmed watching news, but I do. We talked about this yesterday. Lester Holt is my guy, and I trust him, and I love my world news. So I watch his 6:30 news every night, and I hear his news stories and what's going to happen next. You know, and I try to follow. I figure us as Massachusetts, we're probably like a month behind New York. So watching their curve finally flatten, hopefully ours will too. But I try not to get too far in the future. I can't. I just can't. I have to keep it in today. You know, what's tomorrow going to look like? What's the summer going to look like? I don't know. I'm not planning any vacations. I'm not planning anything. I'm just trying to keep it in today and know that my family's safe. Like right now, I'm safe. I come home every day. I strip on my back porch. I wash up, get up the next day and get dressed and go out and fight again. And just hope that whatever normal is going to be, as long as we're all still healthy, you know, and we're alive and we're making it through. I don't know.
It's almost just like, in a way, being an addict is kind of an asset right now because we're so used to pushing through one day at a time. Like, just hear what you just, I'm like, damn, like I'm so used to fighting each day to do the next right thing and just make it through and kind of manage your emotions so you don't do anything stupid.
Right. Yeah. I know, what a great time to be alive and to be in recovery. Because it's like, okay, wait a second. We've planned for this. We've been training for this our whole, you know, you've been training now for 10 months. I've been training for 13 years. I can show people how to live, you know? And I think that's why I was even more disappointed in myself when I had those 2 weeks of downtime, you know, when I had even my partner going, who are you? What's happening to you right now? Why are you showing up like this? Because I was wallowing in it, like this sucks, and I don't, you know, and I had to stop and be like, wait a second, I know better. I have read the literature. I have done the steps, and I have a network, and I can be grateful. I have so much to be grateful for. I have a job right now. You know, they're paying me a little bit more to go to work every day, so I need to show up and be the best version of Barbara that I can possibly be, and I can do better.
In your defense, every single time I step foot into a grocery store, I have a guaranteed meltdown when I leave. Like, it is so stressful for me in there, and I can only imagine being there to work because it's almost like the epitome of everyone's stupidity. Right. It's people going, they're not thinking about, do I actually need to be here? I'm going once every 2 weeks, and it sucks. Like, I hate it.
And I see customers that are doing that, and that makes me so happy. Like, they've got a big order, but they'll tell you, listen, I come every 2 weeks. And I'm like, good for you. Let us get you out of here and let's work together, you know? But then you see the same people every day, right? To get their lottery tickets, to get their whatever, you know? The beginning of this crisis, right? When everybody overshopped and wiped out the stores and were acting like it was freaking a tornado coming or something. We're still finally leveling out. We're not even at the full leveling out yet, though, at most grocery stores. You know, toilet paper is not coming in on a regular basis still. You know,
Wow.
yeast is still out, flour is still out, and you have to like come in and get it, and then the shelves are wiped out again. So the other thing that Stop and Shop does, not to do a shout out to where I work, but they have the curbside pickup now.
Oh, nice.
It's a division of their Peapod, and you can call in or you go on their website and can put in your order. People will shop for you, and then they bring it out to your car. So they stopped it because they couldn't get the merchandise on the shelves. Well, it's back, and they just started it back up again on Thursday. So, and when I see that service, I think of the people in my family that do have the over anxiety. And I think, so if you don't want to come to a store and you don't feel safe, let them do the shopping for you.
You know, that's actually really dope. And part of the issue is like, I'm just so scared because I live with someone who has like 45 different ways they're immunocompromised. That's an exaggeration, but it is really serious. And if I were to contract it, I know for a fact that it would be really bad news bears. I mean, it certainly wouldn't be good news goats, everyone.
Yes, exactly.
So I love that's happening again. And that's only because the panic started dying down, right? That they were able to get that. Okay.
Yes, they're finally able to do that again. Yeah, and every store does it. So whatever your neighborhood store is, you know what I mean? That's the one you could reach out to, and then you go and pick it up. You know what I mean? And then wipe your groceries down. Put them on your porch, take one bag in at a time, wipe them down and put them away, you know?
Yeah, that part I get kind of, I'm not going to lie, I get pretty lazy on that. And
Me too.
So I'm like, I don't want to wipe down this bag of Tyson buffalo chicken. Like, I'm just going to eat it.
I just want to eat it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can we talk about food? How are you doing with that? Because like, that's the other thing. Bought a key lime pie, and
the freezer one.
Every night eating a piece every night.
Oh my God, no, that is so weird, Auntie. That's what Alex goes and gets, and we eat a piece every night. Is it the freezer one? Yes. The freezer box one? Yeah, every night. Every freaking night.
Oh my God. And then there was like not a normal size piece last night left over. And I said, you going to have any of this? He's like, no, you can have it. So I'm eating it, right? And I'm like halfway through and I put it down. And he's like, how you doing over there? I said, I'm fine. I'm powering through, man. This is my piece of pie. and I'm like, I'm not a quitter. I'm going to finish it, right? And I did. Like it took me a little while. I put it down, drank my water, and then I did. I said, see, I did it. Like, really? That's what you're proud about, But that's our mind.
It's the little things right now, though, in your defense. It is the little things. I'm over here learning how to... I bought a PS4, and I think I've mentioned it on every single interview because I'm not a video game person, and you probably know that more than most people.
Yeah,
I'm not a video game person. I like puzzles and books, and I'm a hobbyist. So I bought a PS4, and because I'm bad at it. I'm not good at video games. So the games I'm playing that I'm super proud of myself for accomplishing things are like literally Lego Worlds, Fortnite, like games that children play, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm like, wow, I'm really good at this Spider-Man game on easy mode that's definitely made for 4-year-olds. But it makes me feel, it gives you that little hit of dopamine, it gives you that little like, oh, I accomplished something today,
Mm-hmm. I know, and I ate that whole piece of pie. I didn't use though, but I ate that whole piece of pie.
Yeah, so as far as food is, I'm snacking so hard at night, and I'm not at a place right now other than my teeth. Like, I really got to be careful with how much candy I'm eating because I know my teeth I'm not really gaining weight out, I don't think, but I don't know. I'm not either. I'm not getting dressed up either. So who knows? I'll put those dress pants on and I'll be
sweatpants,
I'm wearing PJs all day, every day. Like,
yeah. Oh, that's so funny. There's one other aspect, though, that I wanted to talk about, something that I really think affected my moods is, and I know you've talked about, like, what are people watching? Because I've listened to your other podcasts. So one other thing that I did that I think really disrupted my spirit was, so we decided to watch Ozark.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God, that show is so fucked up. But then you get sucked in. Like, and I said to myself, we watched the first one because somebody had suggested it. like a year ago, and we watched it and I was like, oh wow. And I think we did the second. I was like, this is really, I don't know. I loved all the characters, who's the guy, the main guy. I love him.
I haven't seen it. I've seen the trailer and I've read the description and I went, not today, Satan.
Yeah. Thank you. Exactly. But I heard you did you watch Sopranos? How did you do with that?
So I was watching The Sopranos in January and February.
Yeah.
So before this started, and it was only because I had an HBO subscription for that month, and I didn't even get to finish it. I got to the last season, and then my subscription ran out, and I was like, well, I've seen enough,
Yep. So that was like one of my TV shows was definitely my first addiction ever. Like, and I have to remember this, and sometimes I share it when I'm telling my story because it was a way that my mom, it would be a babysitter, you know what I mean? But it worked for me. Like if you were looking for Barbara as a little kid, I was in front of the TV, you know what I mean? Sucking my thumb and watching my shows. It was Fred Flintstone, cartoons, all of that, you know what I mean? And I'd be the first one up and with my bowl of cereal in front of the TV. My first addiction, literally at kindergarten, I'd come home from kindergarten and watch All My Children.
Oh my God, you cannot be serious.
Swear to God. Susan Lucci, you know what I mean? And then it was Ryan's Hope, all of them. So, and I definitely think it warped my sense of reality. It had to, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't real shit. But anyhow, so TV affects me like that. Like, I'll get sucked in. It's definitely an escape for me. And then I will like obsess over characters and the plot line and all of that. So, and I have to sometimes remember that. So when The Sopranos came out, boy, I remember watching that with my ex-husband. We'd make sure the kids were all in bed and then we'd watch it. Sometimes we would get high or whatever and then sit and watch Sopranos. And some of those shows would literally, because it was every Sunday night, and they would last the whole week. It would bother me. I remember one where they killed a hooker and
oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes,
dude.
they had her in the closet and then they ended up killing her. And I remember she had a son and all that. Oh my God, it bothered me. It still bothers me. I'm still talking about it, right? But you know what I mean? But these things, it just sticks with you, right? Yep. And so when Ozark started, that's the feeling that I got. I thought, oh shit, this will fuck me up. I know it will.
Oh my God.
But I came home from work one day watching it and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And then I would go by the TV and there'd be one on and I would just sit and I'd watch and then I'd watch some more. And then I was finally like, screw this. I'm going to watch from the beginning because I have no idea. Tried to keep up and I'm like, it's only 3 seasons. It's only 10 episodes a season. I can do this.
Right.
So I did it. I watched. We have 3 episodes left of the 3rd season. That's our plan for this afternoon. I've got one other thing I got to do today, and then we're going to sit and watch those because I need to finish it, right?
Yeah. Just like that happens, pie. Right? You got to get that. It's like a nice little Ozark pie piece for you.
I'm in. I got to just do it now.
Yep.
I have my sister's watching it, so then when I said something, she's like, "What part are you at? Where are you?" So I've got somebody to talk to. I got somebody to debrief when I'm done. But I had to stop and think about my mood and where I was and what I was watching. Like, shit, Barb, you did it to yourself again. TV shows and that sense of reality or unreality or whatever you want to call it, fantasy, sucks me in and then it erodes my spirit.
Yeah.
It totally erodes my spirit. So I'm not, but again, I'm an addict, so I'm going to finish.
Well, yeah. Hey, if you're going to do it all the way. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to finish the whole thing. I've got 3 more. I don't know. Of course, I'm going to probably watch that. But at least I know that I'm not going to do it when I'm during quarantine, when I can't go to church and I can't go to meetings and I can't talk to people. And I'm sitting here watching them just kill everybody. And, no. God.
Well,
my God,
and in your defense, part of watching shows is having that dialogue afterward where you're like, let's talk about it. It gives you something to talk about and connect with people that you know, which I love. I love that discussing and theories and hearing, different people's takes on things. It is almost like each show has its own community.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And for this show too, Boop and I are talking a lot about like the power structure between the couple, the husband and the wife. There's definitely a power struggle happening. Who needs to be heard or who feels that they're not being heard, and then that power sucks you in, and granted, we're not living in a life that grand, that grandeur gestures that they're doing, but we all have those feelings. And we all feel like we need to be heard and want to be, noticed or in charge for some strange reason. And then I have to stop, bring myself back, like, wait a second. I have to surrender to all this. I'm not in control. I'm not in control of anything. And that's okay, because that's where I live and that's where I want to live.
Right.
But I have to remind myself.
Oh my God. Yeah. Control is such an interesting thing right now. Retail therapy is one of the things I'm doing because I feel like, well, one, it's an escape, and two, it's like, well, I'll have something to look forward to. And I can, I used to go to stores and I hate physically shopping. So now I can shop for the specific things I want and just get them, which obviously, as you know, has recently been like designer playing cards. And I think that's fine. For me, it's kind of self-soothing. They're really fun. My hands are very jittery. My hands just want to be doing something pretty much always, and I'd rather be playing with a deck of cards and enjoying that than sitting there like pulling my hair out or some whatever other self-destructive thing might end up happening. And I'm not smoking anymore. I'll have a cigar every once in a while, but I'm not smoking cigarettes, and I haven't been.
I love playing cards too. That's a fun pastime. I keep thinking about all the things that I want to do when we can connect again. You know what I mean? And I just hope that we really do follow through with it. You know what I mean? Like, I would love, we had talked about a while ago, like having a family game night, even if it's just once a month, switching around to whoever's house it is, playing games, eating some snacks, and just getting together, having a couple games going on in different rooms or whatever. Just the fact of getting together. Yeah. It sounds great. You think about all these things and then you never really follow through 100%. But
yeah, I love having people over. Like, I love being the vibe setter. I love having guests and hosting. And I've been living on my own for a long time, and I've really only had family, like family, extended family over maybe once, and it was for Matt's birthday thing, and like that went, I actually thought that was super fun and went well, and I'd love to have people over again because I like showing off my space and being like, this is what I got going on, and it makes me feel like my money's going to something good, because like, damn, rent is expensive. Oh god damn.
I know, right? It's so crazy. And then so when you get to the point where you guys can, buy your own house, and then it's really all yours. And I'm telling you, that sense of accomplishment is just amazing, because then it's all yours. Like, look at my house. Look at my stuff. You know what I mean? You try not to get down that rabbit hole, right? Of over shopping and of being too grandeur about look at me and look at my stuff. But be happy for me, be proud of me. I want to show you what I've accomplished because I've worked so hard for it.
And it feels even better in sobriety too, because it's like, and I'm not sitting here like numbing out every evening. It's like, definitely. I think TV shows can be a way to numb out. I gotta say that. So I have a recommendation for you of a show that actually does elicit opposite emotion. So a show that you will laugh your ass off. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Have you seen Schitt's Creek at all?
No.
Okay.
Somebody else has mentioned it to me before, though. It's good, huh?
Oh my God. You will die laughing on Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
Is the mom. And the son, the kids, it's so funny, and it's a quick watch. Like, each episode is, I don't know, 20 something minutes. Tell me what you think of it when you just.
I will, because we are looking. Well, we're going to finish Ozark today, so I'm looking for another show to watch. So I will definitely jump on that one, because I seem to go for that dark, crazy. Have you watched Fleabag?
No, I haven't, but Alex has. She liked it a lot.
God, I loved it. She's another one. She's so fucked up. But I'm watching it and I'm laughing and I'm disturbed and I'm like, and you just so many feelings. So
Is that
many
the one with the hot priest? See, I heard about that part.
This is not okay.
Oh God,
this is not okay. But I'm watching it anyways.
Right.
But it's our fantasy world, right? It's just where we escape. So
yeah, I resist some shows that people tell me are like, it's funny and it's an uplifting, and then I watch them and I'm like, man, I wish I watched this sooner. Like Parks and Rec. I love Parks and Rec, and I've watched, anytime I'm in like a bad place, it's Parks and Rec or it's How I Met Your Mother, and those two shows will kind of get me back to center.
Yeah. I used to watch How I Met Your Mother. I don't watch that one anymore because it's not on as much anymore too. I totally got into the Big Bang Theory too when that was on. So I feel like I've seen every single episode 1,000 times. That and Friends.
Oh,
know?
really? See, I never got into the Big Bang Theory. I don't know why. I tried to
you
watch
would
it.
love it.
I think there's too many dudes on it. That's what it.
Yeah.
I don't like a
Yeah.
show where it's all dudes and.
I know, but no, but then it's not though, because they do get girlfriends, and then there are girls on it.
Oh, thank
you
God.
would like it. Yeah, it's funny. It's a good one. And I love Will and Grace. That was like one of my favorite. That was the show. I got the DVDs, which my kids laugh at me now if I say I want the DVD, and they're like, "Ma, you could just get it." No, I want to have it in my hand. So, but when I had those, I watched all those after my divorce. I got a TV with the DVD player, and I laid in bed and I would watch them over and over again. And then when I first got clean, I'd come home from my meetings or whatever, and I'd pop in Will and Grace.
Oh, see, that's your comfort show. That's so cute. That's
so
Alex
my
and
comfort
Buffy.
show.
Alex has all of the Buffy seasons on DVD.
Oh my God, I love Buffy too. Danny and I used to watch that all the time.
I told her that. That's what every time I watch it, I'm like, this reminds me of going to my aunt's house on a Friday, and it would be Buffy, and then Seventh Heaven, and then I don't remember the other ones, but
we used to watch all of those.
Charmed, I think. Does that sound right? I don't know if that was a Friday show.
Charmed, yes.
But yeah, we've been watching them. We're on the last season. We've been plugging through her DVD. She knows them like by heart. It's crazy.
Wow,
that's her favorite show.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have, I guess, one more question about just like, what are you telling your sponsees right now to do who are having cravings or having a hard time? What kind of advice are you giving them?
So what I've been saying to them is what I said to you earlier is about getting on a Zoom meeting. You know, get on the Zoom meeting because there's so many out there. Go to the, AA has a website for them. So does NA, and get your call-in numbers. So, but then when you're on it, share, what I mean? Listen, be attentive, and take that minute to share, just to check in so that you let people know where you are and how you're doing, The other thing I'm doing is saying, contact your family. We're having family Zooms, like once a week. And I'm telling you, like, one of our cousins said the other day, we're seeing each other more now than when we weren't during this isolation. And I just think it's great.
I do too.
It's so much fun.
It is actually fun. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's fun.
It's fun. Right. Well, because, we have a big family. So our screen is like filled, right? And then we're all talking at the same time. So then whoever's hosting has to mute us and do one at a time to talk. But it's just, but it's fun. But it's fun. And we're checking in, and we're getting to see each other and how we're living. And it's been very helpful. So I've been doing that. And then I'm also suggesting to read, you know what I mean? Both recovery places have books to read. And so pick up your basic text again, pick up the Big Blue, whatever your fellowship has, and read them again. We have a Living Clean, which is a newer version of NA literature. And that's what I'm going to start reading. Because it's like, I've had this book forever, haven't read it. I need to be connected and do something positive. I have to balance out the Ozarks and the stupid TV shows that I'm watching that are just negative and that are not feeding my spirit, because I don't have a lot to feed my spirit right now. So call your network, right? Call your sponsor, have a conversation with somebody, at least one person every day, because as addicts, we will isolate and we'll get comfortable in that isolation. And that's not good for us. When we're alone with ourselves, we're in very bad company, and we're going to start listening to the committee in our head telling us and making bad suggestions, and we can joke, right, about the shopping and the eating and the watching bad television. But if we keep going on that negative spiral downward, it's going to lead to using. And we know that. So we have to try to counteract it, and no matter how much clean time you have, you got to remember to do the next right thing. Stay in that attitude of gratitude and take care of your spirit.
I love that. I'm so glad that you made that point, because it is true. Like, as a goofy person, the reason part of it is it's self-defense, like I'm like, ha ha ha. It's so funny that I feel like complete ass, and it's not like, it's nothing really funny about that. So what I heard you just say was Zoom meetings for your fellowship, whatever that may be. Also connecting with people maybe you haven't, that don't necessarily have to be in recovery, family members, friends. Maybe being the one that goes, hey guys, let's do a Zoom. And as that person, it's kind of, it is a good feeling. It's like, oh, I'm organizing. I'm organizing shit. I'm making it happen. And then last but not least is reading. And you specifically suggested Living Clean, which I've never heard of, but can you order it online?
You probably can.
All right. Let's do it.
It's Living Clean. The journey continues.
The journey continues.
Yes, it's NA literature. It's
Okay. Do the next right thing, folks. Okay.
folks.
Anything you want to leave us with?
Oh, no, just thanks for thinking about me and, wanting to include me in your podcast. I'm really enjoying listening to them and just, laughing right along with you. It's comforting,
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
And I
was
was
the
honored
idea,
that
yeah.
you thought of me and that you, because we get in our heads, right? Like, what do you want to hear from me for? What do I got good to say?
Oh my gosh. Part of it is I'm scared to ask people because of anonymity stuff. And I get freaked out. There's this like kind of defensiveness about like integrity in the program. And then my thing is right now though, things are so crazy and different that I don't know how to attract rather than promote. And what that actually looks like let's define that for this era. Okay, it's impossible right now.
Right.
Like, what is the difference?
Point.
I don't know.
I've never been one though that hides that I'm in recovery. I'm not trying to be boastful, and there's a fine line. You know what I mean? I'm not boasting and like shouting it from rooftops, but I'm also not hiding it, because if I can't help an addict, I certainly don't want to hurt an addict. So I don't mind sharing my story sometimes and be like, yeah, I struggled with that. And here's what I did, because if you don't know, then you don't know. I remember finding out for the first time that there were meetings in my church basement. I did not know that. Like, granted, I know it's supposed to be anonymous and it's supposed to be, but then I still struggle with but if I had known, maybe it would have, I would have gone to it sooner. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Auntie, I actually said in the intro of this that you introduced me to 12-step. You brought me to my very first meeting, and if you hadn't, I never would have known it existed.
Wow.
So to think about,
deep.
I was like 16 or 17. I heard of them and I knew they were helping you, and I saw like how good you were doing and I actually didn't even know you were struggling because I was, I was a teenager. We don't know anything's happening outside of our social circle. But, when I went to that meeting and realized like, oh, this is going to be here no matter what, I can always turn to this. Like, that actually made all the difference for me.
Yeah, beautiful. And it's true, because I hid it very well. People did not know that I even had a problem. So I want to be able to say out loud that I did, and that there's help out there, because if you don't know what you don't know. So I don't mind telling people, and I know you're right, anonymity and all that, people do get upset or worried about all that. And I don't know, maybe I said, instead of saying recovery, and I actually said AA or NA, I'm probably breaking a tradition or a rule somewhere. But if we're not telling people, then how do they know, So it's not out of a place of malice or boastfulness or anything like that. It's really out of, how can I help you? Because this has helped me. And I remember how miserable I was, and I felt like I could never get out of that cycle of self-obsession. But there is, and I did. I was able to break free. And if you work hard at it, you can have a better life, man.
Hell yeah.
And so it was so tiring, and now I'm not so tired. I don't carry the weight of the world on my shoulders anymore. I don't have to worry about my next fix or my next anything. Just, worry about doing the next right thing and being a good person.
I love that so much. I feel like that's a perfect place to go out on.
Great.
I feel really empowered. I don't know about you, but I feel super ready to conquer this day.
Thanks.
And
me too.
I hope that you conquer your Ozark episodes.
Oh, thank you.
All 5 of them or whatever you have left.
Yeah. The last 3.
Let's go. All right. Thank you so much, Auntie. I love you.
Love you too. I'll talk to you soon, I'm sure. Love you.
All right. See you later.
Honey.
Bye.
Bye.
I loved it. So good. All right. Thank you to my Aunt Barbara so much for agreeing to be on this show. Thank you to you for listening. If you haven't liked and rated, throw me some 5 stars, bro. Like, we could really use some 5 stars. If you haven't shared this podcast with a friend yet, go ahead and do all those things, because it really will help us to grow the podcast and reach more people. And ultimately, that's the idea. Hope this helped you. It definitely helped me a lot. Don't pick up today. Absolutely, just don't pick up today no matter what. Peace.